and Stacey's been catching some fish, and we wanted to make a video.
That's crazy.
Something that's headed our way. I mean, something that's headed to the United States.
Yep.
It always happens somewhere else first. It just happens to be Europe, the motherland, right?
No, that was easy.
Yep, it's a baby.
It always happens somewhere else first. It just happens to be Europe, the motherland, right? They're taking this seriously. This is not a conspiracy theory. They're telling you what they're going to do. I'm gonna roll the clip and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. Roll it.
You're introducing the electronic euro, as I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how can switching to an electronic currency help?
Now we have in Europe this threshold above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the gray market. So you take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But you know, the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control, you're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, you know, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
The first thing I took away from the clip was limits. You're going to be limited on the cash you can use.
Yep, and the thing that I took away is it's all in the name of safety.
Trading freedom for safety.
Yep.
Now, $1,000, 1,000 euros, sorry, 1,000 euro dollars is all you can spend in cash. And then she mentioned 300 to 400 euros might be okay. That might be acceptable.
Yep.
But the problem is, how are they going to use this in the future when they really want to control everything?
If you want food, you will get a calorie controlled system sent to you by text saying, this is what you can eat today. This is what you can have today. If you violate any of these things, they'll freeze your bank account.
If you're still skeptical that the CBDC is not on the way, and you've been hearing about it so long that it's just hasn't come true and it must not come true, to show you a heat map of, well, it's actually just a map of all the CBDCs that are being implemented in all the different countries.
And we're not one of them. Not yet.
The United States is not on there. They're the only country that's not having a pilot program in place at the moment.
So I was telling Chris the other day, I've been reading the Jekyll Island book again and kind of going through it. And when they did the Bretton Woods, they did not anticipate BRICS. They did the the IMF, the World Bank. They said, and it states specifically that they were expecting the Federal Reserve currency, or the Federal Reserve to be the last bank, last resort bank or something like that. And when the BRICS came along, it threw a kink in it. So we are scrambling to catch up with what the other countries are doing, and they're telling us what they're doing. They're stating it. They're not. She wasn't even hiding it. She stated very clearly, as you guys saw. He said, "Is this going to be control?" And she said, "Yes, it's going to be a form of control. They're going to be able to tell you how much you can spend, where you can spend it, what you can do with it. If you do too much cash, you're going to be fined. You're going to go to jail." To me, you guys, that's a wake-up call. That is something Chris and I, when we listen to, we speculate, and we go through it in our mind, we process it, and we're like, okay, if it hits the United States, well, not if, when, how are we going to approach this? How are we going to work through this? Because it is going to happen sooner than later.
And you got to think, how are you going to sell your precious metals into a CBDC?
That's a good point.
And nobody has the answer. I assume you're going to be able to sell your precious metals for a digital US dollar. But that makes you think, well, what are the taxes going to be? That's where this all boils down for me. This is a way to
tax you.
squeeze every last cent out of you and hold your money hostage if you don't do exactly like you're supposed to do. If your credit score, your social credit score isn't quite in line, you know, you just don't get to leave your 15-minute city. We're going to do a whole video on that because they are serious. They're serious, just like they are about this CBDC, that it's on the way.
Well, when you have someone come out and publicly on TV state that, then you know that it's no longer just something that's behind a closed doors deal. It's here. So welcome EU. You guys are about to have that. I'd like to know if anybody's over there, if they're actually facing that or going through something like this now, if they're being told there's limits to amount the cash they can use.
Well, you got the thing going on in Argentina, right?
Argentina, yeah, because their inflation, they're only allowed to pull so much out per day.
Think about that for a second. $40
US dollars
is all you can get out. That's 40,000 pesos or
right,
whatever it is. But the equivalent of $40 is all you can get out. But all of your money is tied up in the bank, and they just won't let you have it.
Yep.
That is criminal to hold somebody's wealth hostage over the bad decisions that you've made.
Yep. It is. It really is. So obviously it's coming. I mean, if it's implemented in every other country and we're just one of the few people lagging behind, we will be there next.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're lagging. It could be just the fact that
they haven't
we're
announced
the world
it.
reserve currency. When we do something, it's a big, big deal. These other countries can do whatever they want. It's like, you know, the U.S. dollar kind of controls them. If you don't believe me, look at the charts. You know, I say it all the time, but I think everybody should make a note that other countries get hammered from the U.S. dollar, and I think they're sick of it.
Yep, it could be.
And BRICS, completely backed by commodities.
Yep. And in October, you guys, hang on. They're supposed to come out with an announcement, BRICS is. I'm waiting to see what they have to say. They said they're going to come out. It's going to be a basket of the currencies. It's going to be backed by commodities, including gold and silver, especially gold from what I'm hearing. So we'll see if they actually make that announcement.
Oil, 5G, you know, China's got the Belt and Road.
Yep.
And all that infrastructure. See, that's real wealth. Some people don't really get that. It's like that's the wealth that keep people wealthy forever, is owning everything, like ports and bridges and railroads and stuff like that. And that's what it is.
Yep. And China's done that.
And they're cutting off the United States. And this is a long plan. You know, the Chinese will plan something now and not even worry about getting it done for the next 100 years or so.
Yep.
You know, so that's the thought project for today, is how exactly are they going to use the CBDC to tax us out of everything,
to control us,
to watch everything you do, what you eat, completely cut you off from your funds, just like Argentina.
Yep.
In a digital fashion. And then what do you do? Do you keep cash in the safe? Do you bury it in the ground? Do you put precious metals in the ground? That's what all of us have to come up with.
We do.
All of us have to try to think through this, and I know you guys will. Now, real quick, at the end of the video, for the people that made it, I'm searching for people maybe in Puerto Rico or some other friendly country.
Yes.
We're going to do another video about this, but not country, but something like Puerto Rico that you're still got some rights, maybe, if we have any. Something like that, because it just makes sense. So if you live in Puerto Rico or you know about it, know a place to get or something to do, let us know. It'd be awesome.
And also, if you made it to the video, can you show the fish that I caught?
I sure will. Have an awesome day.
Get it, Stacey. Move your pole right here.
I'll be some big ones over there.